Welcome back to the show. Today's episode is a master class in how to sell credit repair services compliantly, effectively, and with total integrity. If you've ever struggled to convert leads into paying clients or felt frustrated watching prospects ghost you after they grab your free ebook, this one is for you. I break down the doctor's office sales approach, showing you exactly how to nurture, build trust, diagnose, and then, and only then, prescribe your service as a solution. Let's get into it. So here's how we sell credit repair. It is so simple. It is so easy. People tend to overcomplicate it. How do you sell credit repair compliantly? Okay. This slide is talking about our nurturing process. Okay. A new lead comes into our business, meaning somebody gives us their name and their email, or their name, email, and phone number. Okay. That's step one, right? They opt in to one of our offers. Hey, get my free guide on 5 tips to quickly improve your credit score. That's the landing page. You send them there. The only thing they can do on that landing page is leave or give you their name, email, phone number in return for that guide with 5 tips to quickly improve their credit score. You gave them a lead magnet. It's like bait. You go fishing, you throw line in the water. With no bait, you're not going to catch any fish. Okay. So you got bait on your line. That's your lead magnet. Hey, I have this free ebook with 5 tips to quickly improve your credit score. Click here to download yours now. Free. They click, a pop-up comes up and asks them just for their first name, their email, their phone number. They submit. They immediately get that email to them. You got their name, email, phone number. They got the ebook that they wanted. Everybody wins. Great. But now you have a sales process. We do our sales process. It's called the 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. For 5 days in a row, I'm going to call you, email you, and text you. For 5 days in a row, I'm going to call you, email you, and text you 5 days in a row. That's why it's the 5 by 5 by 5. I'm going to call you, email you, and text you 5 days in a row. I'm going to call you today. I'll just give you a call because I see you requested a free copy of our ebook on 5 tips to quickly improve your credit score. I'm just calling to make sure you got it. Sometimes it goes to spam, and maybe you fat fingered your email. I just want to make sure you got it. Can you check your inbox real quick and let me know you got it? Because I want to make sure I get that to you. Oh, you did? Great. Okay, real quick. I'm just curious. Are you looking to improve your credit score? Like, what are you trying to? Bam. Now you're in a sales conversation. Y'all see that? Okay. What if they didn't answer the phone? Then you leave a voicemail. Hey, John, I see you just requested a free copy of my ebook on 5 tips to quickly improve your credit score. I was just calling to check in to see if you got it. Give me a call back and let me know, because if you did, I want to make sure I get that in your hands as soon as I possibly could. I hang up and I send an email that says the same exact thing that I sent in the voicemail, and I send them a text that says the same exact thing in the email and in the voicemail. Okay? Day 1. Then we move on to day 2. Haven't heard back from John yet. John didn't reply to my text. He didn't reply to my email. He didn't call me back. Day 2, I'm going to call you again. Hey, John, don't be a bother. I just want to make sure that you got that book. And you're going to do this every day for 5 days. And guess what? If you do this every day for 5 days, either they're going to ghost you the entire 5 days, which means they're not in the purchase stage of the buying cycle, right? Because if they were, they would have returned a text, right? They would have replied to an email or called you back if they were ready to purchase. But you're not just going to sit there. You're going to be proactively working your leads. That's why you call, email, and text 5 days in a row. If 5 days goes by and you're radio silent, you've ghosted me, I'm going to assume you're simply not ready to buy right now, and that's okay. I'm going to move on, right? But the moment that lead opts in and gives you their name, email, phone number for that free ebook, they're instantly going to be entered in our 1-year lead nurturing campaign. For 1 year, I'm going to drop gems in their inbox every week about credit and how you can improve your credit score and how credit scores are calculated. For 1 year, just bam, gem every week, just once a week, every 7 days, boop, email, boop, email, boop, email. I'm nurturing them. When they are finally ready, when it's painful enough that they're finally ready to do something about it, they are going to think of you because you are the one that's in their inbox, right? So 5 by 5 by 5. Now, the idea here is to either book an appointment with them, okay? Or to actually sell them on that call. Because maybe you caught them at a bad time. It's like, actually, I want to talk to you, but I'm at work right now. No problem. I got some time this afternoon or tonight at 7 o'clock. Does that work? And you book an appointment. right? So if you guys work on with appointments with your leads, then it's also important that you have appointment reminder campaigns. Don't just book an appointment and then assume that they're going to remember, because they probably won't. So you need to have appointment reminder campaigns to maximize the show up rate, to intensify the number of people that actually show up to the appointment. So you remind them via email, you remind them via text. Our appointment reminders are 24 hours before the appointment. You get an email and a text. Hey, John, looking forward for our appointment tomorrow at 8:48 p.m. and I'll see you then, right? So 24 hours before. Then 1 hour before their appointment. Hey, John, looking forward to our appointment in 1 hour. If you can't make it, please click here and reschedule, right? And then 15 minutes before, they get a final reminder. So there's no excuse. Oh, I forgot. No, you didn't. You just didn't want to show up. And that's okay. You're just not in the purchase stage of the buying cycle. But the reminder campaign increases your show up rate, because the people who really would have forgotten got reminded, and they're going to show up if they're ready to buy, if they have the intent on really purchasing. Okay. If you get on a call with somebody, if we get on a call with somebody and we're having a conversation, that call either ends one of three ways. They buy, they say, F you, Bruce, I never want to talk to you again. Or there's a booked follow-up call. We never leave unless you bought, you say, not interested, don't contact me again, or we have an appointment for when we are going to talk again. What most people do is they don't get the sale. The person also doesn't tell them, stop calling me, but the call just ends. And you're like, okay, well, when do I follow up with them again? Like when? No. Our sales team knows if you hang up a call without a sale or without a DNC, meaning do not contact, you better hang up that call with an appointment, because we're not going to let people fall through the cracks. These are people who we can help change their lives. I'm going to do everything in my power to help you. And if I'm not booking a call with you after we hang up off of this call because you weren't ready to buy yet, I'm not doing everything I can to help you. So we always book a follow-up call if they don't buy, or if they don't tell me, stop calling me, I'm not interested. Okay. And then finally, you get to a point where you actually enroll the customer. Okay. So that's our sales process. We collect the lead 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 while nurturing them for a year. We book appointments, and we book follow-up appointments and follow-up appointments and follow-up appointments and follow-up appointments and follow-up as many times as we have to until they either buy or they say, stop, you're annoying, don't call me anymore. Okay, no problem. And funny enough, those people end up calling us a few months later and signing up anyway, right? And then they enroll. Okay, so that's a sales process. But again, that 1 year nurturing campaign, that's what you do when you capture them. You capture them, so you nurture them. You nurture them through your email marketing, through your social media marketing, through your marketing efforts to stay in front of that person. Okay. Here's how we sell credit repair. It's 4 steps. So here's what happens. We use the doctor's office sales approach. I'm going to break it down to you guys. It's the doctor's office sales approach. Why? Because it's relatable. Every single one of us has been to a doctor at least once in our lifetime. Okay. So let's parallel this with a sale, with a credit repair sale. Okay. So I'm aware I have and my knee hurts. It was leg day today, and I did something and my knee is messed up. Like my knee is hurting like crazy. I'm aware that I have a problem. Does it mean I'm ready to have surgery? No, I'm not ready to have surgery. I'm just aware that my knee hurts. So now it's been 3 days and my knee still hurt. I'm like, man, I got to do something about this. I got to go see a doctor. So I do some research on what doctor am I going to go see for my knee. Oh, this guy right here, he treats all the Miami Heat players. Okay, I'm going to go see him. So I book an appointment to go see the doctor. I just research an intent right then and there, right? So in my intent stage, I get in my car and I drive to the doctor's office with my knee that is hurting. And I get there, and after I sign all the stupid paperwork, I don't know why they don't just give us all iPads, but you gotta sign your life away. Then you sit in a room and you wait for the doctor, right? And a doctor comes in and he says, hey, Bruce, I'm Dr. Bob. And, tell me what's going on. And the doctor now is asking you, what's going on, Bruce? And you're like, Doc, I was working out a couple of days ago. It was leg day. I must have done something to my knee. It hurt me pretty bad, right? So the doctors who are friendly, right? You ever been to a friendly doctor? They're going to want to know, oh, you work out, man. Yeah, you look looking a little jacked. Like, they're going to make jokes. They're going to get to know you a little bit more. They're going to, okay, what exactly were you doing while you were working out? They're not just going straight, well, yep, well, we're going to do an x-ray. We're going to do an MRI. If you need surgery, we're going to do surgery. It's going to cost you $12,000, but don't worry. Insurance takes care of it. You can talk to Susie on your way out. Is that what happens at the doctor's office? Nah, that's not what happened. If that were to happen, I'm not there. That guy ain't touching my knee. You crazy? No. But the guy the doctor that shows that he truly cares, he's winning me over. He's building rapport. He's building a rapport with me. Man, well, I'm sorry that your knee hurts. Like, can you tell me a little bit more about exactly what you were doing? Yeah, man, I was doing these things. I grab a kettlebell like this and you just squat down and, oh man. And the doctor's like, yeah, I hate those. I used to do those when I was younger. I stopped because they will hurt my knee too. And now we're having this conversation that has nothing to do about my knee pain, but it has everything to do with me. You know what people's favorite word is? It's their name, right? Like, I don't care. We're all selfish. We'll all love ourselves more than probably anyone else, right? Like, we want to talk about us all the time. You'll never guess, the car that I drive. You'll never guess how much money I made this way. Like, with that, it's our ego. It builds us up. So you need to use that as a tool to ethically sell because you truly care about your client's credit. This doctor truly cares about my knee and he's showing that he does. How? By asking questions to get to know more about me and my situation. Step one in a credit repair sale is exactly that. Hey, Susie, thanks for booking the call, or, thanks for reaching out to me. It's my understanding, I guess, that you're having some things on your credit, some issues that you're trying to fix. Tell me a little bit more about what's going on. And then Susie's like, yeah, well, COVID really jacked me up really bad. I lost my job and she's telling her sob story. Shut up and listen. For the love of God, shut up and listen. If you're a salesperson and you're selling something and you're doing more of the talking, you are not selling it. You're getting sold, right? You shut up and you listen, intently listen to what they are saying. You are now an underpaid therapist about Susie's sad story about how she lost her job and her credit got jacked up because of it. Shut up and listen. When Susie's done, don't move on. It's like, oh man, sorry that happened. By the way, our credit repair process, no, because now you look like an idiot. Susie, I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you. I talk to people all the time that had tough situations in the past. And, I can relate because COVID was really hard for my family too. And are you talking about credit? No. And that's the point. That's the point. You start finding common ground and you talk about common ground stuff first. Why? Because people do business with who they know, like, and trust. All three. Know, like, and trust. If I don't like you, you can have the best thing in the world. I'm not buying it from you. I'm going to find the second best thing and buy it from somebody else because I don't like you. And I automatically don't like that thing anymore either because I don't like you. So you have to be likable. Y'all get that? So you build rapport. Don't talk about credit. Let's talk about your life, your situation, your goals. Susan, so sorry to hear that. Hopefully we'll be able to help you here. But tell me a little bit more, like, why now? Why are you looking to fix your credit now? What's happening now in your life that you feel like this is something that you need to do? I think I'm ready to buy a home for my family. Like, I'm a single mom and, rent is just getting more and more expensive. I've gotten back on my feet since COVID. I've got some money saved and I really love to buy a home for my family. What are you going to talk about, y'all? The home. You're going to talk about the home. Tell me about the home. Susie, what kind of home do you like? You want a 1-bedroom, a 3-bedroom? You want a 2-story or 1-story? Can I give you some unsolicited advice? Don't get a 2-story house. Because anytime you get thirsty and it's the middle of the night, you have to walk downstairs to get a drink of water and it sucks. And now you're making jokes and you're being funny and you're not talking about credit. People buy from who they know, like, and trust. Now the pain point, the knee hurts is I got bad credit and I want to buy a house and I can't because of it. That's the pain point. You've learned that in your first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of conversation with Susie, right? You got to know her as a person, not just as somebody with a bad credit score with a $sign over their head. You got to know the person. You have to build know, like, and trust with that person. So you're building rapport, right? That's step one. That's the doctor walking in and getting to know more about, man, Bruce, what did you do with your knee? What were you doing? And then we have some side conversations about whatever comes out. We all have common ground with one another. I promise you. Let's move on. Step 2 of the sales pitch is you're going to run, test, and diagnose. So the doctor sat there and he listened to my story about how I hurt my knee. And, we talked about working out in gyms and different exercises and great and his family, whatever. All right, Bruce. Well, it seems like you're really in a lot of pain. The best thing that I can do for you right now is we got to get an x-ray, because unless I know exactly what's going on with your knee, I don't know how I can help you. So I'm going to send you over there and Joanna is going to get an x-ray, and then we'll be able to go through the x-ray and we'll be able to see exactly what's happening. And then we'll be able to have a more meaningful conversation. Does that sound fair, Bruce? Am I going to say no? No, doctor, you're crazy. I don't want an MRI. I want a stress test. No, I don't want an x-ray. You want the x-ray because that's what's going to tell the doctor what's wrong with the knee, because that's what I want to help with the knee. So now you're going to move on to run, test, and diagnose, right? Now you can do this one of two ways. Look, Susie, I'd love to help you. Okay. But if I told you right now that I could fix your credit, I'd be lying to you. And use this analogy, y'all. Use this analogy. Susie, would you trust a mechanic that tells you they can fix your car without even looking under the hood? Yeah, me neither. So how would you trust me telling you that I can fix your credit without even knowing what's on your credit? Y'all see that? So you're going to do a credit analysis. That's the x-ray. The credit analysis. By saying that, your trust, let's say this is your trust meter, okay? And it can go all the way up to here, okay? When the call starts, you're at the bottom. This is the highest the trust meter can go. When the call starts and she says, hello, you are here. But by building rapport and getting to know her and know, like, and trust and sympathizing and having common ground, the trust level is going up. But then you hit her with, look, I'd love to tell you that I can help you, but if I told you right now that I can help you I'll be lying to you. And I don't want to lie to you, right? I don't want to start our working relationship based off lies. I want to know that I'm doing the right thing. Would you trust a mechanic, Susie, that tells you they can fix your car without looking under the hood? Yeah, no, me neither. Because they don't even know what's wrong. Well, how am I going to tell you that I can fix your credit without even looking at your credit? I'll be lying to you. And anyone that's told you that they could, they lie. Would you agree? Yeah, I would agree. Trust factor. Bam. Like breaking the ceiling of the trust. Because now they have no reason to think you're trying to take advantage of them. They have no reason to think you're taking advantage of them. Because you just laid it all out. You're like, look, I don't know if I can help you. As opposed to, yeah, we're going to get everything off in 45 days. Repo's gone. Medical collection's gone. Bankruptcy's gone. 50, just sign here. Here's the link. Next thing you know, they're charging back. They're talking crap. That's not how we sell credit repair, y'all. Right? Have I done anything uncompliant up until this point? I have not. Right? But I'm doing a hell of a job selling credit repair. Trust me. This is, in my experience, selling credit repair for 13 years now as of last month. This works more often than it doesn't. It's a charm. At the end of this call, they're buying. All right? Let's move on. So you're going to do the credit analysis. You guys understand what I'm saying? Maybe it's Credit Karma, or maybe it's whatever they get their credit report. Like, it doesn't have to be all free. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can get on Credit Karma. You can get on their bank app. You can find their credit report anywhere else for free in a million and one different places. The point is, you're looking at something with them. Okay. And you're pulling it up. All right, Susie, I'm going through here. And yeah, it does look like you have a charge off from Capital One. Looks like it was a $4,200 credit card they have with them. Yeah. So a charge off, what that actually is once you go 180 days without making a payment, the bank is like, you ain't paying me. So they charge off the debt. Charge off is an accounting term. That means they're writing the debt off as a loss. So they're actually kind of like giving up on even trying to collect the debt. You still owe it. They can still sue you for the debt, but now it's charged off because it's been 6 months and you haven't paid them. So these types of things, we've been successful with helping our clients with in the past. Okay. Move on. Did I say we're going to remove it? No, I didn't. Did I say we've been successful with removing this in the past? Yeah. Am I lying? No. We remove Capital One charge-offs probably every day. Do we remove it every time? No. But that's not what I'm telling her, right? So you're doing the credit analysis and you're pointing out all the negative things on her credit report, right? And by the end of the credit report, you've gone through the whole thing, right? And you get to the bottom of the credit report and you're like, all right, Susie, So I seen what I needed to see. And based on what I see here, back to the doctor. Okay. He's looking at my x-ray. Look, Bruce, I looked at your x-ray, and he's pointing at it. And you see this little thing right here? You tore something in your knee and you're going to need surgery. That's the point, right? But he's like, look, I've done 80 surgeries just this year alone, fixing the same exact thing that's here. Okay. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to go in with a microscope and, we're going to make a incision that's this big and we're going to put a camera in there and we're going to make an incision that's this big and we're going to put our instruments in there and we're going to, with the robot, go in and fix a tear. And now he's explaining to me how he's diagnosing the problem and he's presenting a treatment plan. The diagnosis is you tore your whatever in your knee. The treatment plan is surgery. And the way that we do the surgery is with a microscope and he's explaining to me the process. Okay. Back to credit. Look, I looked at your credit report and here's the thing. You have a lot of negative items on your credit report. Okay. And if the goal is to improve your credit, right, your scores, negative items on a credit report, think of it like the brakes on a car. The more of these negative things that you have on your credit report, the harder you're stepping on the brakes of your credit score. Okay. But the positive items on your credit report, they're like the gas on your car. Okay. Like the more positive you have, the deeper you're stepping on that gas. So the goal here is not to step on the gas with our foot on the brake. The goal is to remove our foot from the brake, meaning try to remove as many of these derogatory items as we possibly could while simultaneously helping you build positive credit. Bam, foot on the gas. That's how we help you improve your credit. Because Susie, if all we did was take the foot off the brake, the car starts to idle, but it doesn't really go until you step on the gas. So even if we remove every item from your credit report, that isn't always just going to help you because that's like taking the foot off the brake. You actually got to build positive credit to step on the gas of your credit score. So the way that we do that is we're going to work on trying to remove these items from your credit report. There's a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and I'm not going to go into that part of it, but you're pretty much going to say, look, there's a law that tells the credit bureaus and the banks and the collection companies how they have to report this information. Okay. And the fact of the matter, Susie, is that they don't always follow this law to the T. And when they don't, they're not allowed to report that information. Therefore, they have to remove it. It's kind of like driving, right? Like you drive a car, but just because it's your car, it doesn't mean you can drive however you want. You can't drive as fast as you want. You can't run red lights and go through stop signs and run people over in speed. Why can't you do that if it's your car? Because there are laws, traffic laws that tell you, Susie, how you have to drive your car, right? So while the credit bureaus and the banks and the collection companies, they can report this information on your credit report, just because they can do it doesn't mean they could do it however they want to. There are laws, consumer protection laws that the federal government put in place to protect you from these companies that tell them exactly how they have to report this information. And if they're not reporting the information exactly as the law says they have to report it, they have to remove it. Just like you get pulled over and get a ticket because you were speeding, right? That's how a credit repair works. We are extremely knowledgeable of all of these laws, and we're going to leverage all of them as much as we possibly could to find violations to use as leverage against these companies to get them to remove this information from your credit report. But Susie, please hear me when I say this, okay? Hear me when I say this. This is very important. If you hear nothing else, you need to hear this. Can you get pulled over and get a ticket because you drive a black car? No, you can't. Why? Because driving a black car isn't violating any traffic laws, correct? So you can't get a ticket because you're driving a black car because you're not violating any traffic laws. Well, here's the thing with credit repair. What happens, Susie, if Capital One reporting this charge off is not violating any of the credit reporting laws? What if they're doing everything like they should? They got all their T's crossed. They got all their I's dotted. They're following the law to the T exactly as they should. Do you think that Capital One account is going to come off your credit? No, because there's no reason for it to come off if it's lawfully, legally reported the way the law says it has to be reported. The reason, Susie, why I'm telling you this is because while I'd love to guarantee for you that I could remove this, I can't guarantee that they violated the law without even looking to see what they did. Does that make sense? Now, do you think you're going to lose a sale because of that? You're not, because you did all the legwork up front with building trust and likability and how they know, like, and trust you. You're clearly not here trying to take their money, so they're more likely to spend their money because you've built know, like, and trust. The fact that you told them that you cannot guarantee to remove it, but you explained to them why it made so much sense that they're like, yeah, no wonder I've been scammed. Yeah, I've worked with all these credit repair companies before, and they all told me they were going to do it. None of them did it. We're not like those companies, Susie. We're really here trying to help you, and we do things the right way. You're being honest. Exactly, CJ. You're being honest. You're being transparent. That builds trust and credibility because you do business who you know, like, and trust. So the fact that you're telling her that you may not be able to do some of the things that she's hoping you can do, that's not going to turn her away from the sale. That's actually going to make her closer to the sale because she knows she can trust her. She knows you're in good hands, right? So, Susie, I'll tell you this. We've been successful with removing all these types of items before. Like, this isn't new to us, right? Like, we've been doing this for a long time and we're very successful. What I can't promise you is how successful we're going to be with you because of what I just said about the laws and what if they're following the laws? What if they're not, right? So you understand that, right? Okay, great. So let me tell you about how this works. Before we move on to pricing and any of that, which I know is important, okay? What questions do you have? What can I answer for you? And you stop right there. You don't go on and talk about price until you've handled all objections before. You do not talk about price until you've handled all objections before. Okay? So you explain the process and you say, what kind of questions do you have? What can I answer for you? I know that was a lot to take in. What kind of questions do you have? Right? And they're going to ask you questions and you're going to answer those questions. Well, doc, I get the surgery, but man, how long does it take? Oh, it's an outpatient surgery. You'll be, the surgery itself only takes like 45 minutes. Plan on being here for about 4 hours though, because you got to wake up from anesthesia. We got to make sure you eat. But the surgery itself is like 45 minutes. That's how long it takes. Okay. And doctor, what about recovery time? When am I going to be able to work out again and drive? And like, am I going to be able to, bathe myself? Like, what is recovery time? Yeah. Well, recovery, it's a long process. Your knee is very, sensitive. It's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks for you. So now I'm asking the questions and the doctor's simply answering those questions, right? How long is this going to take, Bruce? I mean, our average client is with us, between 4 to 6 months. That's on average. Some clients, they see results pretty much within the first, month or two. Not everyone, but it's common. Some clients are with us a little longer, maybe 10 to 12 months. Again, it depends on all the investigations that we have to do with these companies, all the paperwork that we have to ask that they provide and whether to provide. So it could be a lengthy process, but just know that we're doing everything we can to try to get these things off if possible. Okay, Susie? So you always end with reassurance. You always answer a rebuttal with reassurance. Rebuttal, reassurance. Okay? Now you've answered all the questions, right? You overcome the objection. We're in part 4. You overcome objections and close. Because that's what questions really are. It's just objections, right? It's doubt. That's all it is. So you answer all those questions so that they no longer have objections or doubt, and now they feel secure. And now you're going to present your pricing plan. Well, Susie, here's how our program works, okay? In order to get started, it's $239 to get started, and then it's only $89 a month, okay? But Susie, here's the thing. I don't think it's fair, okay, for us to charge you $239 to get started in our program and then $89 a month. And by the end of the program, nothing happens for you. Okay. Like, we charge you all this money, but you still got all this bad credit. Nothing comes off your credit report. That's why we have a 90-day money back guarantee. What that means is, look, Susie, if you start today, okay, and if within 90 days, we don't get any negative item removed off your credit report, we will refund you every penny that you paid us. So you will not lose your money. You will not be in out of your hard-earned dollars for something that ended up not even working for you. So that's how we are promising you that we're going to do our best. Because honestly, we're in business, right? Do you think I want to take your money just to give it back? No. Like, I have kids that I need to feed too. So Susie, you want things removed off your credit report, but guess what? I want those things removed off your credit report more than you do. Because that's how I put food on my table. If we are unable to remove this stuff, I'm just going to have to give you all your money back. And I don't want to give you money back, Susie. And you make a joke out of it. Susie's buying, y'all. She may not buy today because she doesn't get paid until the 15th, but you're following up because that call. All right, Susie, I understand you don't get paid till the 15th. Here's what I want to do. let's book a time for us to speak on the 15th. I'm open all day. What time works for you? And you book an appointment for the 15th. And you call Susie, and she's going to have the appointment reminders. So she's not going to forget about her appointment because you have the appointment reminders. And you're not letting her off the phone without a close, a FU, don't call me again, or an appointment. Best case scenario, Susie says, I'm sold. How do I buy? And you send her the link and she buys. Worst case scenario, Susie's like, you're a scam. You should go to jail, right? But Susie needs to be in a mental hospital if she does that, right? And the half case scenario is she doesn't buy today, but you book an appointment for a follow-up, right? You book an appointment for the follow-up. You never hang up a call. You never leave a meeting without a booked follow-up until they purchase or until they say, not interested, forget it, don't want to hear from you anymore, right? That's how we do credit repair. That's how we sell credit repair. We understand the psychology behind the sales cycle. Yeah. And then we understand the importance of nurturing and the 5x5x5 because you strike while the iron is hot, right? When they opt it in, that's when you want to be trying to get a hold of them because that's when credit is on their mind. They downloaded the book for 5 tips to quickly improve their credit score because right this second, they're thinking about improving their credit score. So if you call them within the next 5 minutes, you're probably going to have a conversation with them about their credit score, right? Anyway, 5x5x5x5, you book appointments, you book follow-ups until they close, until they say, don't call me again, right? Or until you book another follow-up. And that's the process, okay? You do the doctor's office sales approach when you're trying to sell credit repair. Not really anything. I mean, insert any other product that you sell to this doctor's office sales approach, and I think you'll be good. All right, credit junkies, that's a wrap. Hopefully you're walking away with a whole new perspective on how to sell credit repair services ethically and effectively. Go capture those emails, book those follow-ups, and remember, the money's in the nurture. Drop a review if this helped, share it with your team, and I'll see you guys on the next one with more strategies.